Hi guys, welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm making Amish hamburger pea gravy. Alright, I'm starting out here. We're serving this over mashed potatoes, so get my potatoes ready. I peeled some potatoes, and I'm going to cut them up into pieces. And if you don't care for potatoes, you can serve this over rice or even over noodles, which I love mashed potatoes, and so does my family, so that ain't going to be a problem. So I'm getting my potatoes all cut up, and I'm going to put them in this pot over here. Right now that my potatoes all cut up and are over here, I season them with salt, put some water on, I have them set to cook. They're going to take a little longer, that's why I start them early. I have one onion here. I'm going to dice up for our hamburger pea gravy. And the only difference between hamburger gravy and hamburger pea gravy is it's hamburger gravy with peas added in. Now I'm going to get this onion, make sure I get the outer skin off, and get this diced up. And the onions can add a good flavor to our gravy. Right now in a skillet I have preheating, I have roughly about 2.5 pounds of ground beef or hamburger. I'm going to get this in the skillet. And I'm going to start to break this up as it fries. Alright, now that my ground beef is browned up and I drained off the excess grease, I turn my heat down. I'm going to add in that onion we diced up. Get rid of this cut in half, we don't need that. Give this a stir. And I'm going to add in a little bit of salt and some pepper. We can add more salt in later if we need it. I'm going to put about a teaspoon in. And some pepper. About a half a teaspoon of pepper. Now I'm going to allow this to fry over medium heat. So the burger continues to get nice and brown and the onions are softened up. Alright, now that my hamburger is all browned up and my onions are softened, I'm going to add in some flour. I'm going to add in about 3 tablespoons of flour, maybe 2.5, somewhere around there. I'm going to stir that in, and I'm going to allow that to cook in there for a minute, to cook the flour taste out of the flour. We're going to use this to thicken up our gravy. Alright, now that my flour cooked in there for a few minutes, and the flour taste is out of it, I'm going to add a little bit of beef bouillon. About a teaspoon. This just going to give it that extra beefy flavor. My potatoes are done. I'm just going to take a little bit of potato water and add that in. That's going to do two things. It's going to season our gravy and it's also going to help thicken it up. Throw that around in there. And I'll taste it for seasoning. I'm going to put a little more water in. Seasoning and that beef base if you need a little more. Now I'm going to allow this to simmer for a few minutes to start to thicken up, and I'll taste it for seasoning. Alright, I added a little more water, and I added a little more beef base, probably about a half a teaspoon. Now that this is starting to thicken up, I have a 12-ounce bag of frozen peas. I don't think I'm going to use all of them. We're going to stir some of them in there, and they're still frozen. A little more in there. That's probably about 10 ounces. I'm going to allow this to come up to a gentle boil and heat those peas through. We don't want them mushy, we want a little bit of snap on them, but we want them heated through and thawed out. Okay, while our peas heat up in the gravy, I have in my potatoes I drained, I have a stick of margarine that's melted. Now I have an electric mixer, but we like ours mashed by hand. We just like the texture of them better, but I make sure to get the lumps out. I don't know if that makes sense to you or not. I'm going to go ahead and mash my potatoes all up, get them mixed good. And I'm turning my masher as I go to get the potatoes out of the corner of the pot. Right now I'm going to add in some milk. Give that a stir to get that mixed in there. And my burner's still hot from boiling these, so that's going to help keep these warm. and you just want to mash them up good. Now you can make instant mashed potatoes if you like, but why would you do that when homemade aren't that hard and they're just so much better tasting. Just a little more milk in my potatoes. We like them nice and creamy. Alright. My pea gravy's heated through, my potatoes are done. Let's go ahead and fix up a plate and see what we got. Alright guys, let me get in here and try this. Some of these potatoes and some of that ground beef. Some of them peas. Gravy has a good beefy flavor from the beef base and the hamburger. Peas have a nice snap to them. Potatoes are fluffy and creamy. Let me take one more bite because that's just that good. Really easy, really delicious. Amish hamburger pea gravy. Thanks for watching and supporting me, and remember, love what you eat and eat what you love.